Oh, I should do a little
Right.
countdown. What am I doing? Sings fingers. Hello.
Action. You singing tonight?
No, I wasn't singing. I just said hello. All right, man. My grade's coming through.
Why is that all over here instead of like right there? You can't see it.
I don't know. I just like looking at the camera this way. It looks
Oh,
cool.
okay, that's fine. When I look over there,
I mean, no, we can.
it's fine.
Hello. We can. I mean, I can face it this way.
No, it's fine.
No, I can face it this way.
Good evening.
Evening. Just saw. Well, I taped it, so I just saw Travis Hunter won the Heisman.
Travis Hunter.
Rightfully so.
Who's that?
It's okay. Yeah. As y'all can see, my wife doesn't watch any kind of football whatsoever. She
I
just
do.
said,
I do
"Who
watch
is Travis?"
football.
You just said, "Who's Travis Hunter?" Which tells me.
Yeah. Because I don't know what it is.
Okay, but even if you don't watch college or pro, you
Well,
would
that's
know.
what I'm saying. I don't watch college or pro.
You just said you watch football.
I do.
Oh, what? My high school football games.
Exactly. Now.
I
did
you
just
try
say
to
that.
you try to be smart and funny, but okay,
No,
whatever.
I'm not. Just being honest.
Okay. Hello, all those that are on. Hey, Lonnie, good to see you. I hope
evening.
Texas is doing well. I can't see. You know what's
yeah,
funny? I
well,
can't see. I gotta look
oh,
up,
yeah,
pull up
yeah,
my phone
yeah.
for Facebook. But yeah, good to see you. All right. I hope that y'all are doing well in Texas.
Texas.
I'm putting all your business
I
on
was
the
about to
street.
say, how you know if
What's
they
wrong
wanted you to
with
say
me? I know, right? I'm sorry,
goodness
putting your
gracious.
business all on the street. Yeah, sorry. But anywho, we here, we live. Hola.
They might
Hola.
post it though.
Knowing them, they probably definitely
No,
did.
I was just confused about why that's on.
Whoa, I thought that was pants. Lord bless. Jesus. Oh, Lord help her. Okay, anyway.
That's a good conversation.
Yeah,
How does
man,
that work? Because when you take it off,
no.
it's like you.
We'll save that for
somebody.
another day.
Yeah, I know, but
Oh
well,
man.
wait till she put the thing on, and then it's
That's
like,
a
Look at
shame.
that right now.
I mean,
She
you
gonna
can
put
see
the thing
that.
on.
Oh no.
I'm sorry, we were looking at a video.
Oh.
I was showing a pastor
my
this video I saw with
God, that's a
somebody.
shame.
That's we'll talk about it next time. But I'm
Child,
saying
that's terrible.
it's with the
oh Lord.
the Spanx.
Oh, Lord, help her,
I think it's
Jesus.
called Spanx.
Nah, that's not
But
bad, yo.
she put look.
Well, no, you can still see like right there where that's all that shake right there.
Oh, you mean at the bottom?
Yeah.
But I'm
Yeah,
saying like
no,
at the
that's
top, you
off.
can't even tell.
Child, that is crazy. Yeah, you can see. You like know something ain't right. You know
yeah,
that
that's
right.
at the bottom.
All right,
Dag.
but anyways, all right, let's
What
get
is
to
that?
talk. I don't
was
matter.
like, oh, okay.
All right,
Yeah,
let's
no.
have a conversation. All right, so.
Okay. I don't know what we're talking about tonight.
Well, first we're gonna have a little small talk. So,
Small talk.
before we get started, first we're gonna talk about. Well, today was a very eventful day. Our
Very.
son got his first degree black belt. Listen, y'all,
Woo-hoo.
I got a little choked today. I did.
know,
I didn't
I know.
start crying. I didn't.
You
but
you let me know you got a little.
I
choked.
know.
That's
I'm letting
fine,
the world
though.
know I got a little choked. I didn't tell the world though.
I didn't tell the world either. You just
I was
did.
like, what's wrong with me today? I got a little choked, but I pulled it
I feel
together.
you.
I didn't
I feel
cry.
you.
I felt it coming though. If I'd have blinked, tears would come in my eyes. But
yeah.
I'm just, I guess I'm proud of him. I mean, it ain't like he had to ride his bike there or something like that. We had to take him and remind us behind. But he learned what he's supposed to learn. He learned his combinations. He learned all the things that he was supposed to do. He was committed to it. They had multiple things they had to learn consistently. And I think it's something, I was telling my wife this, this young, lovely lady right here.
Thank you, lovely man.
And I hate when I say this. I was telling you this. I hate when I say I'm telling my wife this, like you ain't sitting right here. But I was telling you this, that I think as parents, this is our small talk before we get into anything else, but I think as parents, and I posted on Facebook today, like even though we have the main responsibility of raising our, what? That's not what I was supposed to say. I changed it.
Oh, I guess it come up later.
I changed it. Let me see.
It's the same topic from.
I know. It's supposed to have
so I'm not
changed.
sure.
It changed. Let me see.
If it's showing it on everybody else.
No, why is it not saying that? Oh, God. I saved it too. Alright, let me do this real quick, y'all. Y'all stay with me. And the 3 kinds of...
So I went, just for a backstory, I went on I was looking at Facebook because I can't see the comments on here. So I went to Facebook to see what our pre-talk was in our conversation. And it still had the one that from last week that we did, even though
I saved it. That's the part that's annoying me.
Saved it and edited it.
See, I have it in our YouTube too.
I'm not sure what happened. I don't know if it's what it's saying for you guys, but when I look on it,
alright, let me click save now again. So let's see now.
Time.
So let's refresh it and see what happens.
Sure, we'll see.
Alright, let's refresh and see what happens. See.
Oh, good.
Now it changes.
Now it changes.
Alright, so but I was saying to Yannick, and I actually posted it too. I think, did I say it to you? I think I did.
I'm not sure.
But I posted it though. But anywho, it's interesting how God gives us like the main responsibility to our child, but we don't have the sole
we must have missed something.
responsibility.
I'm crying. Oh, I guess she said.
Because we was talking about her being away.
Hey, Katrina.
You know what I mean? We was putting her business out there.
I'm sorry, we didn't see that.
We put her business out there. Hey, Katrina.
Business in these streets.
But even though we've been given the main responsibility of raising our children, we don't have the sole responsibility of raising our children, right? And we understood that through and it's funny, I should have understood this even though, because I was telling you, like the impact like my coaches made in my life.
Oh, yes.
Right?
You are.
I was. But it's like you think about just grandparents, I thought about aunts and uncles, but it's interesting like how coaches can make a major impact. And I should know this anyway because I deal with kids on a regular basis, but it's interesting when it's your child. You know what I mean? Like I can feel the impact that Coach Mark and Jamie, who are at the shout out to Growth Dojo.
Growth.
I was about to say it costs some money, but they are some great people, and that's why I think they're so successful at what they do. But they have helped to a degree part of raising our child, like not like raising our child, but you're not the only sole real estate that your child is dealing with whenever they're dealing with. It could be a teacher, it could be a coach. You may have the main responsibility and you should be the loudest voice or the overshadowing voice, but there's other voices that will have impact in your child's life. I think some people try to protect that and try to act like, I don't want my child, it's only going to be me. No, well, then your child going to live in a bubble and they're not going to live in the real world. So there's going to be other voices that are going to impact their lives, but you just want to make sure it's the right voices, right? And, Jamie and Mark, they're not born again believers or anything like that, but they are they're just good people.
Church?
Jamie and Mark don't go to
Oh,
church.
okay, I'm gonna invite them. No, I didn't know that. They were talking about that. I thought they did.
No, are you really serious?
Yeah, because I thought you said something about I don't know if I thought you said something about their past or something like that. Oh no, I'm gonna invite them.
I've never said that.
Because he always be talking about past or something. Be like,
he calls me pastor all the time.
Come on over.
Because he believes like He's kind of like a I don't want to speak for Mark, but
Okay.
Mark is like he's
Right, he might watch.
he's like an overall
Right.
like I love all things that are
Yeah,
good. You know
he's
what I mean?
nice,
He's a
yeah.
very nice guy. He's a great guy. Just a great guy. He's just a good person. He calls me pastor. He's like, pastor's in the house. You know, every time I come in,
Yeah, I'm
like he's a
keep
good guy.
speaking it. It's like,
But yeah, but they have a part in helping raise Dylan. And when people hear, like, when you hear that, it sounds like they don't, but no, they do. And I think people have to understand that with their children, that you will not be the only person that raises them. You have to, it's compartmentalized of like what they're raising them in, what they're allowed to say maybe, but you're not always around. Same thing with teachers. Like, that's why it's impactful to know who your children, go to back to school night so you know who these people are, so you can tell your children like, we didn't really like him or like her, so that they can kind of take some of the things that they say outside of their schoolwork with a grain of salt. But yes, but go ahead.
I mean, you done said everything that was said. But I do think that that's very true, just regarding having different, that there are different voices, and there always are going to be different voices in your children's life, as well as they go into teens, as they go into adults, because we deal with a whole bunch of different voices. It's just we're more mindful of, and it's easier for us to just dismiss those voices sometimes. But like with the children, it's definitely
true line.
important about whose voice it is. And I think you can't be the only voice in your child's life, because a lot of stuff they won't receive from you just because it's you.
Yeah.
So they might have to hear it from somebody else. Like, I might be able to tell Dylan like 80 times, like, you need to be responsible and take out the trash. And Coach Mark might be like, you know what? Responsibility is a key that this is how he talks. He goes into like, but I love it. It's good. But he
shout out to
in a
Coach
different
Mark
way.
if you go watch this, man.
He says in a different way that Dylan might be able to hear it better or receive from it more so than from me saying it, because it's similar to like what people say about married couples. Like when you say something, you hear them talk about like when the wife is nagging or something like that, and you kind of hear
that don't happen here though.
Right, praise the Lord. It probably
That's
used
what I mean.
to, but no, but I'm just saying we always use.
I'll make that clear. You said that, but I'll make that clear. But go ahead.
Because we always see that like on shows and commercials, all that stuff, where it'd be like, they'd be like the nagging wife, and they'd be like, no, and then it takes like somebody else, like a friend or something, like saying, oh, you know what, man, and that's, oh my gosh, that's a whole nother conversation. And dealing with friends, because you got friends that'll tell you the wrong thing, you got friends that tell you the right thing. But if it's a good friend that would tell you, you know what, man, you should do this, that, and the other, then you'll finally kind of hear it. So I think it's important for your children to have different voices, but it's definitely important to monitor who's around them. And just like you said, like when we went to the parent teachers conferences, it is good because you actually get a chance to kind of see, how the teachers are. And when we got back, we talked to the kids about each of their teachers, and we told them how we felt, all truth, and y'all know us.
Good, bad, and different.
It's going to be truth.
Yes.
So we didn't agree with some things. Some of the classrooms were very off. Some of the people were interesting, but needless to say, we talked to them about it, so they kind of know, well, this person, not to take any advice from them or this, that, and other. And we always have talks with them just too about being a leader and not wanting to give into the peer pressure and not allowing people to pressure you to do things that you don't want to. And just a lot of different talks like that, usually on car rides in the morning, just to kind of get it in their head and not get it in their head when you're upset or when something happens, but more so we're just in conversation because they're more open to hear it. When you're just in conversation mode. So I think that's definitely true, because even Dream, like, I know this Dream, and I shared with, this Dream, like, when she had her kindergarten teacher last year, which I loved, she had a different tone of voice, and Dream would come and play school in her area. So you could hear she sounded like the teacher. So this year she got a new teacher, and I noticed when she was playing school, her tone and everything changed. And I was like, I didn't realize it until I went to back to school night, and I started laughing because I was like, oh, okay, this is what this is about. Okay.
Mhm.
I don't care for dynasties or dreams teachers this year. I don't. We're praying.
Tell us how you
But
really
needless
feel.
to say, God is good. God bless America. But I definitely think, that that's a good thing. It's important to that they have other voices, and hopefully it's trusted voices. Like, I think it's the best thing is for you to expose them to those voices and you to let them know, well, this voice is okay. We like this. We don't like this though. So, then it kind of helps them to be able to monitor, and then when little things happen, they kind of have an understanding of, okay, you know what, mommy and daddy said, so it's kind of in their mind in a sense.
It's true. That's true. I think, I think it's interesting. I just, again, again, like I said, it's important to understand. Like I said, it takes a village to raise a child, and sometimes that village,
That's true.
those other thing too. I was gonna say too, that village might not
That
be
village.
that village might not be that particular. We're gonna get into our other conversation in a minute though, but that village might not be the particular village that you thought it was going to be. Like, I didn't think the village, when my kids were born and when they were growing up, the village would include a Coach Mark
Right.
in that village. You know what I'm saying? And a Jamie. They weren't in our village. Like, of course you expect grandparents and, different family members to be a part of that village to help your child, but you're not anticipating certain coaches that will make impact on their lives. And so, that's why I think you got to trust.
Just like
like teachers. Yeah.
Dylan's vice principal that he had when he was in
You like
middle
him a lot.
school. I liked him a lot.
I don't think that.
I don't know.
Think
I don't.
Dylan. You like Mr.
Some things
Slater.
are a little suspect, but he seemed like a nice person. So all in all, yeah, I like them much better than. But I mean, if it's somebody that you could share with, but then that's another thing, is like governing, like what, like the kids, like they'll tell everybody all our business, and I'm like, let's not go into all our business. Some things needs to remain in the house. I had to have that conversation with
You
them.
going to one of the conversations?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought it was still kind of
I didn't know who was
talking
doing that,
about
but-
kids. Okay, well now you know, but go ahead.
I mean, that was gonna turn into small talk to
Okay,
large
yeah, go
talk.
ahead.
You was going into a whole other section. Go ahead, you continue your section. If we can go to something. We ain't gotta go to our main conversation. We can stick with this about a village. Go ahead. You went from the kids telling their teachers or people about. Go ahead.
No, I was talking about his vice principal at the time. That's all.
Keep going. Come on. I'm
You
sorry.
just interrupted me.
No, because you
forgot
were
what I was
going to
gonna
left
say.
field.
Okay, go ahead with the
All
main
right.
conversation. How was I going to left field?
Because I was trying to figure out how does that have to do with like the small talk about
What
the
did I
kids.
say?
I don't know. You weren't talking about the whole fact about.
So if you don't know, then how
coaches.
come we said different?
Okay, but anywho, Dylan had a wonderful day. We had a wonderful day celebrating him. But again, once again, like I said, shout out to Coach Mark and Coach
Shout
Jamie and
out.
all of them. Hey, Amida, shout out to
Hey,
them.
Amita.
Shout
That
out.
is so funny every time I think about that.
And even I'll use I see
Oh,
Amida on
yeah.
there. Like
Yeah.
the kids love having Amida in children's church. Like those things, like that's part of our village.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and see,
Amen.
some people be like, oh, that's your church village. No, that's just part of our village because the kids spend time with her 2 times out every month on Sundays, and they look at her as a teacher to them that's
Yes.
helping groom them, develop them, and all of that. And they love going to children's church. They
Yes.
love being with Amida. So it's like, all of that's part of the thing that you trust God and who they are and certain things that those people will help pull out in them and what their gifts and their callings are. It's not like it is, like I said, we're the main contributors, but I don't think we're the sole responsibilities of even helping pull out. Because, sometimes we'll see things in our kids be like, I want to pull out. I believe I can pull out. I can pull out. Like you was talking about certain things, but like there's certain things like I can instill confidence into Dylan, but I think Coach Mark has instilled like a different kind of confidence. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's kind of what I said earlier.
Yeah. You talk about taking out the trash. I'll talk about like real life.
Well, I
stuff.
was talking about real life, just about the difference in the voice.
I just talk about they can pull out different things. Like you can say, yeah, I guess that's kind of close to what you were saying.
Oh, okay.
I think that was close to it. Yeah.
You were going to the mean?
Yeah, so you could. So I'll start this off, but I'll let
Wait, what is it?
Pastor Yannick kind of covers. I'm gonna start it, and then I'll let her really, because she's the one who found it. So there's a pastor who put something up on. This is our main conversation now. The pastor who put something up on Facebook. I've known of this pastor for years, but I don't. We don't know each other personally.
I never did. I just saw the post.
But yeah, Pastor Yannick Greer.
That's my name.
I was gonna.
Yannick. It's fine.
I almost called you something.
I'm joking.
I was gonna call you something else, but anyway.
Oh, okay.
I almost said nickname.
Bless the Lord.
Yannick here said saw something on social media which I thought was good, and Lord Jesus, that's a whole other conversation too. How folks start turning because what they serve. But anyways, so my brother had shared it. My brother had shared it, and what I put in the comments was there are 3 kinds of in your, okay? And what I mean by this is 3 kinds of in your, so that means there's 3 kinds of groups. I know that looks crazy. There's 3 kinds of groups in your whatever it may be. Now, what the person actually said was there's 3 kinds of groups in your church, right? And so
there's 3 types of churches you pastor.
There's 3 types. Sorry. Thank you for cleaning it up because I messed up. There's 3 types of churches that you pastor. That's what he said. In one church, right? He said there's 3 types. And when I thought about it, when I saw it, I thought about that even with people that I coach. Like, I think I have 3 groups of people that I coach in football and wrestling. But we're going to use the context of what he used because this is the context that we live in, both of us, as far as church. And the 3 areas are, you can describe the 3 areas, and then you can, because you found the post. So go ahead and...
Oh, you could have shared it.
Go ahead.
So it says every pastor has 3 churches, whether he realizes it or not. One is you have the all-in church. These are individuals who desire to follow biblical principles and run with the vision. They take initiative. They work with people to get jobs done. They are impervious concerning the spirit of familiarity as it pertains to their church and leader. Do you need me to say it again? They are faithful givers and seed sowers. They want to see the church succeed, grow, and change lives, so they trust the God and visionary given to them. I'm just reading what it says. Okay. You can go. You can summarize. I don't know how to. I don't want to say anything that doesn't say.
Okay, keep going.
Then you have the potential church. These are the ones that are great assets as long as everything is going their way. They are beneficial, but only for a season. They are easily persuaded to feel a certain way about the church and the leader based off the opinions of others or personal conclusions. They're good, but only when ministry is convenient. They sow only when it's beneficial to them or when certain people ask. They are present, usually late or contributing the bare minimum. They are teachable. They have potential, but it's hard to get them to submit to growth. They desire 1 foot in and 1 foot out. Potential fulfillment based on maturity. And the last one was the frustrate. I guess it says frustrate church, but I don't know if it's supposed to be frustrated. These are the complainers, never satisfied, always criticizing.
Hiya.
This is so funny to me because
just read.
It's so but it's so funny because like I'm not saying just in church, but even on job, like
that's what I said.
Like
everybody knows football.
Everybody knows a person that's like you just always complaining. You be like,
yes, I have in football.
Never satisfied, always criticizing, absent of construction. They are louder than they are contributing. They are louder than they are contributing.
Go ahead, read for those in the back. No, that's what you said.
Right, they are louder. The pastor can never do right by them. Their opinions and conclusions about church are governed by whatever makes them feel comfortable with dropping responsibilities.
Jesus.
They hardly show up, will not sow, no matter what the Bible says. Wow. Actually dislikes the church and leadership, but won't leave.
Oh.
So they have time for drama, discord, forming teams to frustrate the workers and leaders. They're gifted failures, so their bitterness, they're gifted failures, so their bitterness makes them hate success from anyone else in ministry.
Jesus.
Wow. That's crazy. I didn't read I don't remember reading that part, but that's crazy. Yes.
Okay.
Ooh.
So
you want me to read the rest of it or no? No, those are stick with the three. I guess the three types.
Read the last sentence that he put up there.
Okay.
I think that's important because that's.
Oh yes,
that's
that is very important.
I think that's very important. Actually, this going to that last
This
sentence
will
tie into
deliver
what
us
I'm
from
preaching.
it all.
Go ahead.
It's like there is no perfect church. Just make sure yours is the perfect place to grow.
That last statement is
all
the
needed,
statement.
like.
That last statement is the statement. So we said we're gonna have a conversation around this because I think it's important to know, and I want you to think about this in any context. This is not just a church context. I was just saying that this is a you'll find this in
Everywhere.
workplaces.
Work. That's what I was thinking about work too.
You'll find this in I found this in coaching sports. I found this in high school. I found this, and the crazy part about it is, there are people that will try to change the brackets of where you operate from. So, for example, if you're an all-inner, right?
Yeah.
A frustrated will try to shake up an all-inner to cause an all-inner to become almost not even a frustrated, but then they become a potential.
Right.
So then their potential becomes frustration.
Right.
Right? So you've got to be like, I'm not saying that, and there doesn't need to be a focus on these things, but I think there needs to be an understanding that these things are present.
Right.
Because a lot of times people act like they're not present, but they are. But as a leader, I think in any perspective, if you are a leader in any perspective, I don't care if you're leading the overall totality of everything, or if you're a leader that might be leading 10 people in something or 5 people in something. If you got one frustrated, you got 3 all-ins and then one potential. Mm-hmm. I think that what happens is we lose ourselves of trying to focus on the one person frustrated. Mm-hmm. And then not just even trying to appease them, but then all of our attention is towards the frustrated. Yeah. And we're not getting ourselves to focusing on who's on the all-ins and just doing what we need to do with the all-ins and all that. Because I think that takes away time, real time that needs to be focused in the right way of going forth with vision. Whatever your mandate is, if it's whatever it's in, if it's in a business aspect, if it's in a spiritual aspect, whatever it may be, because those brackets are going to be present. But I think, like he said at the last sentence, which I'll talk about in a minute, but go ahead. You said you like that. You want to say something to that?
Oh, no, I was just saying, I was saying I love just the fact of, I love how it's broken down and just the fact of how, it's so real. And I think just because of, especially being, I think, in church a lot of times, because we want everybody to, grow, you want to help everybody. And a lot of times you think everybody is for the same vision, not thinking, oh no, this is a snake over here, or this is whatever it might be, or I forgot, frustrate. There's a frustrate over here, or there's a frustrate here.
I like the names.
Not thinking that they would, try to, and sometimes you don't even realize little stuff that might happen that when you're just in conversation with them. And some people, it's so funny how some people are just some frustrates coming on a mission to try to get, that's all-ins. I'm going to get the all-ins. I'm going to get close to them. I'm going to try to see how I can get close to them so I can get some information and then start pulling them down. Mm. And a lot of times I think because we're in church and it's in your mind you're thinking everybody wants to grow. Everybody wants, the vision to grow. Everybody wants, everybody wants, God to be able to do what he needs to do fully. Mm. And a lot of times you don't think about, it's actually people that don't even want that, or that's just contrary to it. That's why I love, even in Acts where it talks about they were all on one accord and how God moved in that, and it said the church grew daily. They were all on one accord, they all had things common, they all had their mind set to for God to do what he wants to do. And a lot of times I don't know if that's sometimes where things come in with everybody not being on one accord. Not to say that that's, a lot's going through my mind with that, but a lot of times you just don't think about some of the people that come and
I'm gonna add
they're
something.
frustrated and they try to pull, not to say, they don't have power, but they'll try to pull on other people.
They try to move into their bracket.
Try to make people feel God, how some people come and they be like, I'm not even. And you know what? God could be trying to be like,
I know.
and they just be like, because they ain't gonna see me flinch. They ain't gonna see me flinch because they try and act like, like they come to show, like, it's like I've seen this where people will come to show, like, oh, ain't nothing going on in here. Why are you here?
Okay.
Like, why are you here? Frustrate. Go frustrate. Okay? We need all ins.
Listen. You know what's funny though? I think I don't want to use the word occupation or title, but I think that I've gotten more free, like that I can really just say what I have to say.
Yeah.
I used to be very handicapped.
Yeah.
Because I was very much thinking about what people want to think, what people want to say, are they going to leave or they're not going to leave, and those things were in my mind, just from
and
a church
just
perspective.
giving people time to grow.
Yes, but I will say this: I think now I'm really free. I'm in my
Free
I think I've been free for like the last 2 years because of experiences. But I think I'm in my free 40s now. Like
Amen.
I'm in my real free 40s.
Yes.
So what I would say is
Bless the
this:
Lord.
I believe that, and this is, I'll say this across the board. Pastoring or leading God's people, pastoring or leading God's people puts a handicap because it's like people think that you don't have a heart because you speak the truth. Now, let me explain that, because in these categories, I have these categories in a coaching perspective. I have kids that are all in, right? They're going to lift. They're gonna be at practice on time. They're watching film. They're asking their responsibilities. They have no problem with me putting them in a certain position. If I say I need you to play safety, now I need you to play outside linebacker. Like I have kids that are like that. Then I have kids that are what was the other one in betweeners? The potentials. Like I have kids that have great potential. They'll do what they want to do, but sometimes, like, if I ask them to do something else, it's like, ugh. And they'll keep practicing, but their whole attitude kind of changes. And then I got the frustrated group, some of the kids, that just never on time, then want awards, but you never on time. Every time a coach tries to coach you, you don't like being coached.
You want awards, but you're not.
Right? You don't like being coached. Anytime someone corrects you, it's like somebody's coming for you. So, like, I have this in coaching, right? But this is the difference from coaching compared to church. And this is why I'm saying where church tries to put a handicap on us.
Right.
With coaching, I literally get on the film and be like, if you don't want to be here, leave. I've said that. I've said that to my team plenty of times because I don't need the distraction. I've told my team, I'm like, look, y'all, all I need is 11. If I got 11 guys, we will flip back and forth. Offense, defense. I'm like, if you don't want to be here, leave. And I get silence. 11. And then sometimes the everything kind of changes a little bit in practice because sometimes I can't stand the goofiness, the like not caring because it frustrates me because with football there's so much dependency. So there's you got a handful of guys that are working hard, and then the other guys that depend on to work hard ain't doing their job. So now you're messing up what they're working for because this is not an individual thing.
Right.
Right? I think it's, but with church in these three categories, this is what I'm talking about handicap. If I say out loud, if you don't want to be here, now believe me, that is ringing in my spirit often.
It's ringing in my spirit when I saw it.
It rings in my spirit, like, it rings in my spirit. So, like, I'm not saying it rings in my spirit like I got to get up and say it every week. I just wish that if you don't want to be, just don't be, you know?
Just making sure there's nobody on here that
I really don't care. But I'm saying don't want to be.
I was looking because I wanted to say all these people on here I love, so that's good.
I love everybody. I don't just love nobody. I love everybody. You might dislike folk, but I love everybody. So here we go. So the whole thing is if I said that, this is the handicap. This is my point about church. If you say that in church, it's almost like, oh, they're disingenuous. Like they don't love God's people. It's like, no. I love all God's people. Just go be somewhere else where you're not a frustrate. Find somewhere where you all in. You know what I mean? Find somewhere where you got potential. Like, if you're not all in or got the potential at least, and you want to sit here and be frustrated for 3 months, 6 months, go be frustrated. Go find somewhere else where you can be like, but in church to say that, it's like, ooh, what spirit he got going him? No, I ain't got no spirit on me. It's just that you need to go ahead and be. You know, like, my point is that in certain arenas, that's okay. But in the church arena, because of our titles, people deem that as like you don't care or something's wrong with you. That's all. I was just throwing it out there, isn't it? I don't know if that's a good part for you to pick up on or not.
It might not be because.
I mean, you can. I'm just being real. No, it's a real truth to it, because that's the evaluation of like people. Because pastoring to people is like, you got to care for the flock, and then people will excuse people like that are prophets. Like, prophets supposed to be mean. No, that's not true. I believe all fivefold offices love God's people. They should, but it doesn't mean like we can't speak truth to power and be honest and not and say it without frustration. Just like Paul brought it to Peter. It's like, that ain't frustration. I'm just telling you the truth, dog. Like, you don't want to be here. Don't be here. Okay, go ahead.
I forgot what I was ready, and then you jumped back in, and I forgot what I was gonna say.
And maybe it wasn't meant for you to say.
No, it probably was.
Okay.
But I do agree with everything. Just regarding, I don't think that's here's me. You talked about earlier about how people get upset or whatever, and they feel like they have a bad heart or something if they tell the truth.
It's the industry. That's what I'm trying to say. It's the industry of church that makes church feel like that's bad. But go ahead.
So I feel like, I think everybody kind of knows this. We say it all the time. Like, the truth is so necessary in the church. And I feel like if it is something that, me and my mom was talking about this the other day, just regarding like lying. So we're talking about just being able to tell the truth, because there are times
why do liars lie?
Nobody knows why liars lie. All lies will be exposed. But no, it comes a time when, like, I know a lot of times, like, before, and I'm sure some people can attest to this, like when you're talking to somebody, and we've had experiences where you kind of know, and people will, like, lie. They'll be lying in your face, and it's like something is going off. Like, okay, why are they lying? Like, what's the necessity for you to lie? And still not speak the truth when you see certain things, because you feel like people are going to get offended, or you're not supposed to say that, or you're not supposed to do that. But my question is always, why would you get offended about something that's true? Like, I always, like, when I'm talking to people, there's even apostles sometimes, like, I'll say stuff and it'll sound probably like not nice probably, but my whole thing is like, I'm saying this like because maybe something has changed, or I'm not saying about you anymore, but I was just giving about me. But it's okay. Oh no, I was saying like sometimes I'll say stuff that's the truth, and like just when you say stuff that's towards, I'm not you. But when you say stuff that's the truth, sometimes, like, people would get mad, and you'd be like, why are you, like, is something a lie? And I don't try to be smart, but I just be like, well, what's the lie in it? Like, what I just told you, isn't that true? Did you say this? Did you do that? Okay, so, like, why are you mad or getting offended? Because it's the truth. Like, I can see if you're guesstimating something, or you're saying, oh, maybe, or whatever. But if it's something that's true, it's like, I'm just saying this to help you because this is just what happened. And I would want somebody to do the same thing to me. And that's the only way you can grow. Like, if people keep, like, which happens a lot of times, like, people get offended and they'll run. You're never going to be able to grow, because you're always running and not dealing with what's necessary to be dealt with so that you can grow. We grow from the truth. If I sit here and tell you, oh, you're so beautiful all the time. You're so beautiful. And maybe you got, like, something sticking out on the side of your neck, and you need to get that fixed. For me to just not even say anything and just say, oh, yeah, you're so beautiful.
Wait, what?
You're
what
so beautiful.
Almost.
Can you let me finish?
I am, but why you
Can you let me finish?
It's almost something sticking out my neck.
If I keep saying, you're so beautiful.
You could use a better
well, maybe if I can finish, then maybe.
Go ahead.
If you got something sticking out your neck, and I never acknowledge, like, what's on your neck that maybe it needs to get fixed, you might not never get that thing fixed, because you're just thinking, oh, I'm so beautiful, when it's something that is probably hurting, or something that could intentionally be bad for you, that you're not going to get fixed because you got this person keep just telling you, oh, let's just ignore the problem. Basically, this is what I'm saying. So it is a good analogy. No, it didn't. Because
I'm saying, why you gotta use me and my neck? Like I got something on my neck, but I don't.
didn't say you had something
I got nothing on my neck.
I'm saying if somebody had, okay, let's think of something else. Okay.
Go ahead, I'm messing. Go ahead, I'm messing. Go ahead, I'm messing.
If somebody has something, if it's something that could potentially be harmful, then if you really do care about that person, or you really do love them or have a heart for them, you're going to tell them, hey, you know what? I noticed, that's sticking out your neck. You might want to go find out about that to see, if everything is okay, or you got to get it removed or whatever, rather than just saying, oh, everything is peachy, you're beautiful, and just like not even acknowledging the thing that could be toxic. Yeah. And a lot of times that's what people will do. Like, we'll say, oh, this, that, and the other, and it's nothing wrong with giving compliments, nothing wrong with saying good things about people, but we too have to acknowledge and be able to sometimes say things that might be potentially toxic or dangerous for somebody if they continue to carry that. Because I know if I was carrying, just like if somebody don't smell good, like, I hope if you really love me and you say you love me, you're going to tell me, oh, you know what? Your breath is off today, or you smell a little bad. Because then when I'm going around other people and you're close to me, for you not to say that, you just got me parading around other people. You don't care about me.
All right, let me reset the rooms.
Reset.
Because she did a good job doing, that was great commentary by you. But she talked for a long time.
Oh my God!
No, wait.
Talked for a long time earlier.
I did. I talked longer than you.
And then you doubled
I
it
did.
up.
I talked longer than you, but I'm saying this is one of the things you have. This is one of the things I want you to. While you were talking, you should have like put some of the hey y'all, we're talking about.
Oh.
That's all I'm saying. You just went on.
We're talking about potential.
We're talking about 3 different areas. That's all I'm resetting the room so people
don't know how I got into that.
That's what I'm saying. Because
you were talking about telling the truth.
No, but I talked about. I went through the 3.
That's usually how conversations go.
I went through the 3 areas and explained how it's easier in a coaching perspective to talk about the people that are frustrates. It's easier to do that compared to in church, and it seems like it's rude for someone to bring up that you have three categories. But you know that in coaching, and it's okay to express that in coaching.
It's okay to express it at church too.
It is, and I think
always over the mic. I mean, sometimes
not over the microphone. Yeah, I think it's
to people. But then too, people just act like it ain't nothing, and they'll still just stay and then be mad.
Well, listen,
which is another, just frustrate yourself right on out the door.
I agree, but this is what I've learned. I've learned this, right, and the all ends, right. The all ends are going to be, I think you have to focus on your all ends. You know what I mean? Like you have to, I'm not saying don't love on everybody, you need to love on everybody. But
yeah,
I think sometimes people, and this is where I think that's why I'm telling you, we're coming into, how many years we've been doing this now? 13? I'm starting to lose track. There becomes and I'm just going to walk through the mistakes I've made, right?
Okay.
I've made mistakes, and I think this has helped me now in coaching, because in coaching, I spend time coaching all of my kids for football and for wrestling. I will spend time with every single one of them, and I do, especially if they ask me. But I will gravitate to spending more time with those who want it.
Amen.
And not those who don't care. So if you're not showing up to practice, you ain't reaching out telling me why you should not show up to practice, you just doing whatever you want to do, I'm going to let you do whatever you want to do, because you're not showing me that you care. I think what happens is when we're talking about these groups is the all-ins, the potentials, the frustrates. I think in my earlier time and even in the middle of my time, I would spend time trying to convince the frustrates that this is the place for you. Or trying to convince them to get frustrates to become potentials. And all you're doing with frustrates is that you might like what you're doing for a week or two, and they still gonna find a way to be upset. Because most times, and especially in church, sometimes that becomes a spiritual thing. And it's just you gotta get your disposition right, because you was frustrated at the last place. And that's when you came here. That's why I always listen to people. Like when they come in, they be like, I was frustrated. I didn't like this over here. I didn't like this job. I didn't like this coaching staff. I remember one time I had a coach that wanted to coach with me, and I didn't allow him to because the first thing he was doing was complaining about his coaching staff. The coaching staff he was with. No, tell me what you do good. Tell me what you bringing over. Don't talk about why your frustrations, why you leave it. And that happens in church. Like people start talking about they frustrated. So now you already in the frustrated. You ain't even really like, you know what I mean? So like for me, I think that in my early years, my mistake was spending time trying to convince that third group that's in the group of the those that congregate. You're trying to convince that third group, and there's no convincing. Like you can't preach them happy. You can't do something that's a part, because if they're in the vision, if they believe in it, they'll follow it even though you're not doing what you want them to do. There's a lot of things that I would like to see done in certain aspects of where I've worked. But if I believed in the vision, I'll keep working there. Because I believe in the person that I'm following. I'm believing in the organization that I'm connected to. So it's not that I'm always going to get my way. It's about, like he says, it's a perfect place to grow. And make sure it's a perfect place to grow. You cannot get a yes from everything. And the frustrate wants you to say yes to all 10 things on their list. And if you give them one no, it's like, I'm frustrated. They don't, No, then that means no. No. I'm not here to satisfy you. That's why I think we make the mistake. Is the trying to satisfy a group that's never going to be satisfied. Right? Same thing coaching, same thing at work, same thing in church. That frustrated group, they can't be satisfied. So until they find what they're really looking for, which is God for real, they will never be satisfied. Okay, go ahead. You want to add anything to that? No. So go ahead and talk to us. I wasn't trying to say. Oh, now you silent. Now you silent now, huh?
No, I just didn't have nothing to add.
Okay. You can start up another convo within this, or are we done for tonight? Because I can keep talking, but I don't want to keep talking.
For it.
Now, I mean, y'all, I appreciate y'all comments. But yeah, I just, I thought that was a good write-up. You help, because you know what I'm learning? If you keep pointing to the all-ins will help the potentials. Right? They'll help deal with the potentials. The problem I be having is like you don't want to frustrate to get to the potentials. That's why That's why when you coaching, you be like you get glad like when some kids like quit. You be like, yes. like you get glad and you get happy like if somebody be like, okay, if they're a bad seed in a program and either they quit or they're graduating, you like, yes, like get out.
That be happening in church too.
Oh, I know that. I'm absolutely. I mean,
yes, yes, like that meme where that boy be like, yes. It's like nah. But actually, I'm serious. But
it's true because you don't want poison infecting because and it also depends upon what kind of role what kind of role do they carry. You know what I mean? Like he said in the thing, like how gifted are they? Right? Because even if they don't carry a heavy role, like their giftedness can be a role to people. You know what I mean? Like it's all kind of like when I was coaching, you can have someone that be like really good, but then you don't even want them to like you won't play them as much or you won't play them at all because they're gonna become a poison.
Yeah. So
how do you balance that? And you're like, I'm hoping that they quit. Oh God, yo, it's too real. It's too real.
No, it's true.
So you want in any organizational structure, right? So the goal is I think to focus on the all-ins and the potentials, right? Jesus. Okay, I'll make it even better.
That's what we do.
What did Jesus do? Jesus spent more time with the 12 all-ins. He didn't get all caught up in all the contrarians, the frustrates, right? He didn't go and do it his way. He didn't do that.
For your talk.
What? What steps do leaders need? We got a question? Good. What steps do leaders need to take with the all-ins so that they don't shift to the middle group? What steps do leaders need to take with the all-ins so that they don't shift to the middle group while trying to help the middle group. Okay, I think I can explain that. So what steps do leaders need to take with the all-in? I think that the steps that leaders need to take with the all-in is... Okay, so this, I'm going to be really... I don't know how transparent I can be. Okay. And you know what? I'm gonna be. I don't care. I don't care.
Ziploc bag.
Huh?
Ziploc bag.
Well, I shouldn't say nothing. What am I about to say?
Oh no, I was saying transparent, because you can see through it. Go ahead.
Okay. I think with the all-ins, and I do this in coaching, same way. I think number one, the steps you have to take with your all-ins, is making sure you. Let me make sure I make this clear. You give them quality time. What's the ear for? Get yourself together. Give them quality time.
She's saying she's listening.
Oh, okay, I got you. Quality time and effort with growing and developing with them. And what I mean by that, now everyone has a different idea of what quality time is, right? Now for me, quality time, those that are close to me know my schedule is hectic because we got 4 kids. I'm coaching 2 sports. Our backyard business, church, just all the things that we got going on, right? So, for me, I think with the all-ins, I try to, make sure that I'm refreshing vision. Yep, I knew that too as well. I think it's the need to refresh vision, the need to just check on them. How you doing? Like, I think the all-ins, not saying you don't care about you care about everybody, but the all-ins, I think you need to also make sure that you're like, how you doing? How's your life? How's family? Like, and being sincere to really figure out what's going on so that those things don't choke out, like where they're at and they're all in their spirit and in their mind. So I think that's important to just make sure that and they know you care about them as a person, because I think that always keeps deep roots within them. So I think that's important that you take time to do that with the all-ins. At the same time, let me see. So what steps do leaders need to take with the all-ins? And also, this other thing too, and you'll appreciate this because you're asking this question. Because with the all-ins, most of the all-ins I've had, I'll use church-wise, especially like the admin team was like made up of a lot of all-ins, right? So with that being said, I think taking input, because they are committed to what you're doing. So for example, I will take some of my players in high school football, I'll bring them in like in a group of 4, and they don't even know why I'm doing it. And I talk to all my kids individually, but I'll bring in a group of 4 of them and say, yo, what y'all think about this? Because I want to hear their input, because I know they're all in. So they're directive in their minds, but at the same time, I'm also giving them empowerment for their connectivity to the vision as well, right? Now, it doesn't mean I'm going to definitely do what they're saying, but I want to hear it, because it gives me a better perspective of what they're thinking, because they're sold to this. They're all in, so they're not giving me like a false narrative of what they're saying. They're being really honest, open, transparent, and they're trusting whatever decision I make, but I'm also trusting them because I know they're all in and I want to hear what they have to say. For some people, for the frustrate, I don't even care what they have to say. Like, it doesn't matter, But the all-ins, I want to hear what you're thinking. I want to hear what you believe will help. I want to hear what you think is not working, right? So I think it brings them into even closer to their fulfillment of feeling like they are part of whatever vision or impact or concepts that you have moving forward. Hope that makes sense. They don't shift to the middle group while trying to help the middle group. Yeah, I think I answered it. Did I answer that part? Did I answer the middle group part too? I pray I did. Yeah. Now, this is the funny part. I think the only people that really, really know who are the all-ins and who are the potential and who are the frustrated are the people that are leading them. That sounds really weird, but I'm just saying that's what I believe. Yep, I got you. I think the people that really know it are the people that are leading them. Because there's some people that think they have potentials and they some frustrates. And there's some potentials that don't think they're actually all in, but they are. And there's some all ins that think they all ins and they potentials. Wait, you ready for this one? And there's some folks that think they all in and they some frustrates. Woo, God, have mercy. That's in all aspects. I'm serious. I got some, man. I'm just thinking about my sports teams. I ain't even thinking about just church. Glory to God. But guess what? They all part of the team. So guess what we do? We focus on what brings growth. Healthy growth. Because guess what? I'm going to say this right now. It's in every church. It's in every organization. And you know what's so funny? Even it's even in new churches. Because once that new church smell rub off, it's gonna smell. It's gonna be in there. Because sometimes people got that new church smell. You got that new car smell. You know you got the new car smell. But then when other butts and seats start getting up in there and you have food up in there and stuff like that, yup, and start wearing off. Hiya! Oh yes, Lord. Okay, you want anything else to add? I hope I didn't make you get. I know I didn't make you get silent.
Mm-mm.
You sure, woman of God?
Mm-hmm.
All right, you want to give us any kind of closing remarks?
No.
Oh, the woman of God done got silent on me.
No, I didn't. I just have any. You said everything
God
I was
bless your
going to
ministry.
say. God bless America.
No, God bless your ministry. God bless you. Oh, what are you doing? God bless your ministry.
Okay, extra.
I just kissed your hand. What's wrong with that?
We were talking about Dylan getting his black belt. It's so crazy. I was when we were there. Everybody knows I only cry for Jesus, and my eyes started getting watery, and I was like, "What is going on?" It was after he did his plank. It was like a 5-minute plank they had to do, and after that, I was just like I was my eyes started watering. I was like, "Hold up!" So I just turned around. And I walked back.
Did you cry? You
To
just
go
hear this
to
first
talk to
time.
my mom, and I was like, "What is going on?" I can't answer that question. I only cry for Jesus, but my eyes got watery,
You
and I'm not
cried
going to say
today?
what happened after. I didn't say that. I said only cry for Jesus.
Okay.
My eyes got watery. And I was like, I went and I got some tissue.
I'm all close, y'all.
for
I'm
my
sorry, I
mom.
can't even see her.
For me and my mom, and I told the girl when I went up there, I was like, "What is going on? I don't know." I said, "I don't do this crying thing. Only do it in church."
Yeah, I got choked, man. That thing
In the
was,
prayer room.
That thing was
For the
intense. though.
Father.
I don't know what that thing was.
Yeah, I
doing,
don't know what happened today. I was like, hold up. Is
I
this?
know.
Are my eyes watering?
Child.
I said, something got in my eye. Let me try to get that together. And then because something got in my eye, it started dripping a little
You
bit. And I was
cried.
like, something got in my eye. So I had to get tissue and wipe it.
You cried. It's okay.
Something got in my eye.
I got choked, man. I did. I got choked up
mine.
today. I didn't let the
I
tear
didn't
fall
choke.
out.
I just got some
No,
in my eye.
it was like a bad cry. Like my throat was felt like it was getting tight. Like I was about to say, Desmond, just let it out. But I was scared. If I started crying, I was nervous. It might get ugly.
Oh yeah.
That's
It
why
might
I
have
didn't
been an
cry.
ugly cry.
That's
Yeah.
why I didn't let it out.
Only cry
Because
for
I was
Jesus.
scared. I know. I was scared. I was
You
scared.
should let it out.
No, because I was nervous.
Laughing, you might have been alright.
I know. That's why I didn't want to. He wasn't near me. I didn't want to because it felt
I got up on my seat
you
like,
know,
wait a
you
minute,
can cry
are you
silently
okay?
and you can just let the cry come out. I felt like this cry coming upon me that it was gonna be like, like I was like, oh nah, what is wrong? So I held that thing in.
That's what I was going to talk about for pre-talk was just like, when is it okay to like cry in public, and do people do that? Because it seemed like a lot, like people don't feel like naturally like if somebody say something sweet or something, like I can't speak for everybody, but if they say something like where you just be like, that is so beautiful, you start crying. It's like, I mean, do people really do that?
Yeah, I mean, it depends about what the situation is. I think if people was crying today, it would have been fine because people were expecting people to
Yeah,
cry.
I'm saying today, but I'm saying like when you think about like for us, like us and some of the people that's on this live, right? Like it has to be something like we don't be letting people, unless it's for Jesus, like we don't be letting people see us cry. It'd be like, mind your business. I'm gonna go over here.
You don't do
and
that.
Release what's on my eyes.
You don't do that. I don't mind people. I don't mind crying for the Lord. I
didn't say. That's what I said. I said unless it's for Jesus when we in church. That's what I said. But I'm saying when you're out regularly, like, do you just be like, oh, that was so, like, you know, how some people do that, or if somebody gives somebody a rose, they might start crying or something, like, and they don't care. Like it's just like, oh, it doesn't come. So I'm just wondering, like, do people really cry outside of? No, we're not talking about church. I'm just saying, just in general, because it seems like a lot of people don't. Like cry in public, just period.
Yeah, but it's not that kind of emotion. Like crying. You gotta be. But see, like you see how easily you laugh. Crying is a different kind of moving emotion. To be moved to tears is
but that's
not
what
like
I'm saying.
easy.
I laugh all the time.
Right, because things are funny, but to crying is pulling out of a different depth of a kind of emotion. Like it's not.
Some people cry because they're happy. Like, well, I cry when I laugh hard.
Okay,
but that's not. I don't know if that's crying.
But see, that's my point. It is crying because it's a happy cry. But that's what I'm saying. I think like let me give you an example.
It's the joy of the Lord.
I think like
happy
crying.
Cry.
I think crying is like a different. I think that crying.
Next time I'm crying, I'm gonna be like, I'm not even crying sad. There's a happy cry.
But crying, I think, is a different depth of emotion. Like I think like laughter is just an easier emotion. You know what I'm saying? Like crying is if you layer things, crier is a different depth of emotion. When I say parents and black belt representatives cried at the event today. Yeah, I know, that's what I said. Folks did cry today, and I think it was okay to cry.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm not saying, I'm
but
wondering like do people feel, because it don't seem like people feel comfortable crying in public.
But this is what I'm saying to you, right? Like when Dylan
nobody there today was like
no, but some people were crying, but it wasn't, I don't think anyone got that overwhelmed, but people were crying. But I think
you was just talking about you felt like that.
I know I did, but I
you didn't let it out. That's
I know,
what I'm
but
saying.
I was.
I'm
not saying that was going to happen. It just felt like that in my throat. I don't think I would have went too crazy. But my point being is that like I think like crying is depth. For an example, Dylan got 9 belts upstairs, right? Today he has 8 or 9. Today he got his 10th belt, which is the most significant one. That is the belt. No one would be like, yo, man, what belt? I got a yellow belt. Like nobody even knows what that even is. People know a white belt in karate and black. They don't know all the degrees of belts that you got to go through. So because we know what a black belt represents, and because it's been 3.5 years, the emotion of thinking about all of that kind of, like when we went to his yellow belt, orange belt, child, we were sitting there like no offense, I'm just being honest. We were sitting there like, when this over?
No.
Like, I mean, we were excited, but today we sat in there over 2 hours compared to the other ones. I think the emotion of how long. So what my point being is that crying is not like an easy emotion, not because it's not like people don't walk out crying in the streets. It's just that it has to be pulled. It has to be tugged. Laughing ain't a tugging emotion.
Right, but I was saying, why didn't you let out all of that? I wasn't saying. I was saying, why didn't you let out your cry if you felt like a boo-hoo-hooing?
Oh,
and I'm saying that's how other people are feeling.
The reason why I didn't let out the cry was because it was in the first 5-10 minutes when we got started. I was like, get yourself together. I was about to cry at the end, but I didn't feel what I felt before, so I was like, I got it. I'm okay now. I felt emotional. And you know, it's funny too. Sidebar. I didn't post the video when Dylan broke the board. Because so when Dylan broke his board today, right? I didn't post that video because it was funny. I didn't know he was gonna.
You could have posted it though.
I didn't post it.
But nobody's probably thinking about that.
I did because after I did it, no, but I thought about it.
No.
I thought about it when it happened afterwards. I didn't know Dylan hugged me before we got started because he told everybody to go hug their parent before we got started, and that happened right in the beginning. So that's why I think I was gonna start crying because then they started getting through it, and he already had hugged me, and that's when I started feeling overwhelmed of all of what was going on. Like this was the first time like they had the board was all set up for everybody, the pictures, all of like this. It was just a lot. That was different. That's why I think I'm getting overwhelmed.
Sadness.
But
well, I guess it wasn't sad. See, it was happy tears.
It was, but
so why can't you cry happy tears in public? You should be like, yeah, boy.
Child, it was just too early.
I know.
It was just too early. And I think, you know what? It's funny. Sidebar. I got football players. It's funny, right? And our last game of the season, I'm done. We got to get off here. Our last game of the season, some of our kids was like crying.
Oh.
And because we had lost our last game. And I remember some of the parents like, and one of our coaches like, and I love him, man, but he was like, man, y'all doing all this crying. And I'm like, dog, just let these kids be. Like, they in high school, they lost their last game. Some of these kids won't even play another down. And it's like, I mean, one of our coaches was kind of like, yo,
That's
you know,
funny.
and you know exactly what coach you're probably talking about. And he was like, you know, y'all stop all this crying. I'm like, dog, let these balls be. Like, you know, and I pulled out afterwards. I was like, you know, man, I don't mind the crying. But so then some like I saw like two of the parents. One of the sons was like, all right now, toughen up now. Stop all that crying. He's like, you didn't work. It was like you didn't work hard enough like during the game. And I was like, dang, like let the ball go through the emotional trip for a second. Like he'll be all right.
That's so funny.
But I think it's some of it is just the development and training that
Right.
you know, especially as men, don't
like
cry.
You're not supposed to cry, right?
But nah, I mean, shoot. When I lost regions,
I wonder,
semis,
does that have
when I
to
lost
do
at
with-
states, I cried my eyes out. I didn't even care because I was
Right.
mad.
Right. Does that have to do with where you were brought up? Because
Yes, of course.
I understand like what you was saying about, you know, like when the coach and the parents was like, okay, you need to, you know,
We
get
go
that
to a
together.
whole other conversation now, I guess.
I would feel like even with Dylan, like I understand that he needs to cry, but I think my first reaction would be like, boy, stop all that crying, you know, like get it together, you know. But I do understand like why, you know, and think that you should let them cry, but then like it's kind of weird because it just seems like
I think we
if
measure
you get
it.
to a point where it's like too much like crying, it's kind of like, all right, cut, you know, get that together. And I don't know if
Yeah.
it's like it has something to do with where you were raised or how you was raised or like because it's nothing wrong. Not saying anything wrong with it, but it just does seem kind of like soft in a sense. Like,
But I think it's the
what's going
measurement.
on?
I think it's the measurement of the magnitude of whatever it is. That's what I think we do. I think we look at crying, like for example, and I'm gonna put her out on Front Street. Dream cries
Oh my god.
at least twice a day.
But she's a girl.
But she be
I mean,
crying
she
about
should- yeah.
nothing.
It should.
It's not even bad. Dreams are great. She's wonderful. Like it's not like a crazy cry. It's just like
No, it
now maybe she get
It'd
crazy
be
too, but
intense.
like it'd be just she cry about nothing. She's a great. I just love. She cries about nothing. Oh, she don't cry about nothing.
No, I'm saying you talking about maybe she does it with you. Like there's been plenty of times I heard.
No,
it
you
with
told me.
too.
You told me she was crying all
Stop.
crazy. No, she cries harder when she around them grandparents. Like that's gonna get
Oh,
their
yeah.
attention. Like
It
that. Like
do.
we a
Get their
bad parent.
attention.
Like she gets louder and worse when she around them. Like I'm like stop that. But yeah, she cried like twice a day. But the thing is, like I think it's based upon the levels of what it is. Like I said, if Dream be crying about, I feel like she'd be crying about nothing. But then sometimes
Yeah.
it'd be like, okay, that might warrant a cry.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that does. But I think it's the evaluation of what's going on. For example,
But that's what I'm saying. That's in her mind. It might like in us with us. We'd be like, come on now, it's not that serious. Like she took my coloring page or she colored on my coloring page. But to her, I mean, that coloring page might have meant the world to her.
Child.
So it's like,
she be crying about when she don't get her snack. And I'm like, you gonna get snack tomorrow. You just ain't get no snack tonight. You can't have no candy. Crying. Like, no, you'll get candy another day.
yeah, I think it's different with kids. I'm talking about like when they're a little bit older.
All right.
And men.
So
like
tonight,
boys. Oh yeah, I'm sorry.
tonight, what? Sorry for what?
Because we definitely went to a whole different.
No, I was gonna say.
topic.
See, you stopping me and thinking what I was gonna say.
I just apologize.
You didn't even know what I was gonna say. What you think I was gonna say when I said tonight?
No, I was just saying I'm sorry because we went to like a whole nother. Because you
It's
got on me
fine.
earlier, so I was just trying to apologize. in
But we was about to
advance.
get off. That's why. I've seen her do it, Sean. So this is what I say. I will say like for example tonight, right? Because we talking about men, right? So tonight, Travis Hunter won the Heisman Trophy. Now I've seen other guys win the Heisman Trophy.
He cried.
He cried. See, you don't see. This don't even make this. This don't even. I can't even get into it with you right now because now
I'm sorry, it's not.
You don't
funny,
understand. You don't understand.
No, I'm sure he put in a lot of hard work. I understand. It's fine.
All right, y'all. We getting off now because
some stuff is just funny.
All right, I'm gonna school you on this. Now you don't understand the Heisman Trophy. Okay, I'll give you an example. Okay, so
I understand.
No, let me know.
I understand.
You don't know what it is. What's the Heisman Trophy?
That's the trophy they get for football.
For what?
Is it the Hall of Fame or something? It's football. I don't watch football.
She said.
Sports,
She said
okay?
the Hall of Fame. No, it's the Hall of Fame. This is so great. I love it.
That's like me asking you about ribonucleic acids. Like.
You're right. I have nothing about that. But no. But this is the thing. No, my point being, Travis Hunter, right? Now his relationship with his family is shaky, right? So he has a good relationship with his parents and all his family, but it was interesting. He got moved from Florida to Georgia. Deion Sanders. I'm just building the story for 60 seconds. He decided to. Deion Sanders became the coach of Jackson State. He followed Deion Sanders, and he built his relationship with Deion Sanders. Deion Sanders was like a father to him, like his coach.
So he hugged him and he cried.
No, but yeah, he hugged him. That's when he kind of broke down more. But the thing is, to win all of his story of the things he had gone through, his troubles, all of that, to now be in college, to do what he's done in college from a defensive and offensive perspective. The Heisman Trophy is given to the best player in college football.
Got you.
Okay? So
he's in college?
Yes,
oh,
but
okay.
you don't understand something. The college Heisman presentation show is what everybody sits and watches on this Saturday night. It's the only game this week.
Not everybody, because I didn't watch it.
Because you don't watch college football, but no one watches. Like there's no games played except for Army Navy and like D2 ball and like
DT ball.
D2 ball, D3 balls played today, but no real D1 balls playing except for Army Navy
division?
and like the Black College Bowl, basically. That's it. No one else is playing today. Everything's about the Heisman Trophy. So Travis Hunter won it. To win that award is what you dream from winning as a child. Okay. Every football player dreams of winning the Heisman Trophy. So let me give you an example of how much that changes your life. When you win
I understand. You're going, of course it must be a big deal to him. That's fine.
I almost said.
I might cry if somebody give me $1 million.
Yeah, I almost said something. I'm glad to say it on live.
Oh, bless you.
Because I was going to say, like, okay, I remember when my whole family, we took a bus up to the Heisman presentation show when my cousin won it. That was a big deal. When he won it, though, I'm not going to even tell you what happened to him that night. Like, just as far as exposure and all that. I'll tell you off screen. But the thing is, like, it changes your entire life. It's like just millions of dollars just came into your life like it's nothing. You ain't gonna cry if somebody give you millions of dollars.
I just said that.
Now, you made it sound like you laughed.
I just said I might cry
you
if somebody
laughed
gave
first.
me $1 million. I did laugh because I thought it was funny. It just, sometimes I laugh at stuff. It just, when people say certain things, it's just funny. And it might not be funny to everybody else. It just happens.
Okay.
I think it's the joy of the Lord. That's why
You just have no context of what it means, but it's okay. So for him, my whole point for him to cry was okay, but then some people will be like, because it's not a lot of guys that won the Heisman started crying before they even gave their speech. Some guys cried while they were giving their speech, but a lot of guys don't cry. Yes, Sean. A lot of guys don't cry. So
okay.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Oh God, yeah, Sean.
America.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Yep, 25 years ago, I went to New York. It was pretty cool. I met Lee Corso, Kirk Herbstreit. Those guys were, Kirk Herbstreit's a really nice guy, so was Lee Corso. It was fun. All right. You done? I'm done.
Yeah,
KO, see y'all tomorrow, 10 a.m.
Oh man, I did not realize it was 10:54.
It's late, so we got to get off here.
Oh man.
All right, deuces. All right, this was a good conversation.
Jesus bless us.
All right, share this.
Everybody that's watching.
All right, I'll see y'all. We'll see y'all tomorrow. It's late. Yeah, I know.
Child, I did not realize it was that late.
It is late.
At 9?
We got on at
9:30,
9:40 something.
For 2 hours, but.
No, we got on at 9.
9:40 right there it says.
Yeah, been on for an hour and 15 minutes.
Gosh.
All right, y'all. Catch y'all.
Bless
See y'all.
them for watching.